My dear friend, a very good morning. This is Commander Sudhir Kumar from my YouTube channel Pulse Beat of India. Today I am going to do an economy analysis, the Indian economy analysis in threadbare. If you look nowadays, many people are asking that why rupee is depreciating against dollar. That is number one. What is the effect of it on Indian economy? Why Indian growth has been projected by IMF now revised rate that is less than 7%. What is the effect of it? And many people are talking about can India will also face that will India face the same situation what has happened in Sri Lanka, and then many people are asking that what is the impact of Russia and Ukraine war on international economic condition and where India stands. These are the questions that I'll be replying during this debate. So please keep putting up with me if you want to know the answers of these questions. The first of all, let me share with you a very happy news for India. That is, India stands as the third most strongest nation globally. It's not only the projection by with military strength, but in economic conditions. Today, when I say this is also true that in triple P, that is purchase power parity, Indian economy stand at the third place only after USA and China. So that is a very good news. Now coming to that how India did so well during pandemic. Everyone knows about it, that you have read also that pandemic has hit the world economic in the worst way in last 100 years or so. There was a Great Depression in 1930s. Then there was a Lehman effect and recession, which USA countered. It was in 2008, and then this the pandemic effect on international economy. Each one of them I'll discuss in detail. That India fared very well, rather I'll say excellently during pandemic. How India could, fare so well during pandemic. Before giving answer to it, I will just bring little bit of economics to you. That is, when there was a Great Depression in 1930s, there were two economists. One was Keynesian, Keynes. Keynes was having a economic theory that if you are facing a recession, if you are facing some economic volatile situation, then it is better the government gets involved into infrastructure development or spending. When you do a lot of spending, automatically it creates jobs, and when it creates jobs, the demand and supply equilibrium is attained, and then government intervention brings back the economy back where the growth take place and inflation is not there, and the country comes out of recession, or say the entire world economy comes out of recession. That was his philosophy in 1930s. But at the same time, there was another economist, Australian economist, very famous economist whose theory is there, that is Hacks. Hacks' theory was just opposite to it. His philosophy was that the government must invest into social development. Government must put money into the pocket of population at the last mile, And if you are supporting the income of poor or a large strength which is there, then automatically their spending power is there. They come out to the market and then market the whatever, the retail shopping they do, and this expenditure rotates into an economy. And then, you know the even without reducing tax, then you feel that this you can come out or you can handle the situation of recession. So with this background of two, the Keynes theory of economy and Hayek's, what India did, the many people may argue that India did this on independent theory. Certainly, India devised a method which was the combination of both. How India did the combination of both? The first of all, India did an intervention for the heavy spending into infrastructure development. India pledged near about $100 billion expenditure over a period of 5 years, and did give boost to the infrastructure development. But side by side during pandemic, India did that near about 800 million people, those are among the poor or even up to low medium income group, those who are in need, they were given free ration for near about 1.5 to 2 years. So this intervention, one side you follow that Keynes's theory, and on the other side Hayek's, and then the mixture of both. And by virtue of that, the India did very well. India was the only largest or fastest growing economy. India in growth rate is more than China and USA and other countries. And India is doing very well when all other countries, including China, USA, EU, European uh, EU, and other countries where inflation is in double digit, and they are not able to address this effect of Russia-Ukrainian war on their economies, because entire global supply chain is affected. Many European countries are having energy problem. India could resolve its energy problem with Russia by getting cheap rate oil from there. And on the other side, India is able to increase its exports, which are touched near about $500 billion. So that is also an achievement. And though the export import deficit has increased, and the same way the deficit has increased for India, or the external debt has increased, but Indian economic condition has strengthened. Indian economy is a formal structured economy now, and we have got all the arrangements built in, or the foreign reserves which has come to India, that we are able to not only pay debt, but whatever we have pledged towards infrastructure development and taking care of the expenditure of the entire ration, free ration distribution which has been done. That's why the Indian condition was stable. Inflation has not gone more than 7 to 8%, and that's why Indian economy is a very stable economy, and now it has been declared the worldwide the most robust economy against the effect of recession. I'll not say if a recession is arrived, but it is on the onwell, and many countries are feeling heat, but India is not feeling heat that way the other countries are feeling. Now, coming to it, there are many, many other things which India has done. as I said, between these two economic theories, India also transferred money among the poorest, the Jan Dhan account for near about 450 million accounts, those are there. There was direct DBT, direct benefit transfer was done, and old age pension in some states and all. Then money was going to the pockets of people, and when other economic activities were coming to halt, India was able to keep alive this demand and supply situation, and then by virtue of that, we were robust against the effect of pandemic. Rather, many businesses in India did so well. India could see the FDI at a very high rate during this period, and many industrial houses did very well as they signed an agreement with the foreign countries. Another thing happened during pandemic, that India achieved distinction in startup, and many startup, as you know, every one of you, near about 70 of them, have turned into unicorn, and that's where the lot of money came in dollar form. And now coming to it, that why rupee is depreciating. If you look at it, that in last near about 1 year, many other currencies have depreciated against dollar 15%, up to 15%. But Indian currency has not depreciated that much. If you look at it, around 2003, the dollar and rupee exchange rate was around 50, and then it varies between 55 to 70 up to 2016. But after 2018, certainly it has gone up to 80 rupees a dollar. But if you look, compare with other currencies where India is doing export import, you will see these currencies are also depreciating side by side against dollar. The main thing is that entire international trade happens in dollar. The exchange rate is dollar. If you look at Japan currency is depreciated against dollar. So India is doing trade not only with US but with many other countries where the depreciation of their currency is taking place. That's why when India is doing trade with them, the rupee is not affected that much. And even if rupee is depreciated, they have also depreciated against dollar, and that's where the stability is there as far India trade is concerned, and India is not facing any aggravating situation in order to come out of this recession. Now, my dear friends, you will see that in between many trends have happened, that the concept of globalization came in, and after globalization, then in around 2002, when Spitz, Spitglitz, Nobel laureate, he won this Nobel Prize in economics on his theory of globalization, and definitely the globalization was taking place. But now the thing is that globalization was applicable when, after breaking of Russia, USA, and other effects on economies were there, and it was nearly like a unipolar world. But if you see now, the situation is that we are moving to the multipolar system. When multipolar system is there, then it is not only the US which is playing a crucial role in international economy. China has played a very crucial role, and China has, having the international trade share now more than USA. So what happens, that India is also now coming up, and India is playing a role. And secondly, India The way India is spending into infrastructure development, India has brought PLI scheme, that production linked incentive schemes for its industry players. That's where it's not only the manufacturing but the defense manufacturing is coming up. India has made a dedicated scheme towards technology development. A lot of money has been allocated for artificial intelligence, machine learning, quantum computing, and many DRDO projects are doing an outstanding performance where the technology is going to the ground and onto the manufacturing platform, and a lot of defense manufacturing is started, and all of you are aware by virtue of that India is able to export defense items, equipments and weapons never before. It's a very, very heartening thing which has happened. Today, India is making not only nuclear submarine, but an aircraft carrier is also being made by India, which is going to be commissioned on 1st September. And side by side, Scorpion submarines are being made, tanks are being made, BMPs have been made. But the most heartening thing is that many private players now are playing a very crucial role in defense manufacturing. Now, even for the semiconductor manufacturing, the Indian government has come up with allotment of near about $14 billion. So these all things those have been done. These are very strong steps taken not only to revive economy but to bounce the growth rate and to have a pragmatic relationship between incentives and having a growth of microeconomic parameter as well as the macroeconomic parameter. And if you look at the social concept of economy which was started by Amartya Sen, who won Nobel Prize in 1998, even the social economy has been taken care, because when this direct help DBT is going into the accounts of needy, they are definitely spending that money into the market so that demand and supply is rotated. It is being maintained. The same way the Russian dedicated Russian help which was given to all these migrant laborers, those who moved to villages, they were supported very well, and it has an effect. Now another scheme I'll come out, that is the Mudra scheme. Mudra scheme where near about 12 lakh crore loan worth 12 lakh crore has been given to the needy, to the poor, between 10,000 to 50,000, and 70% of them are women. Women has turned into a small time entrepreneur. Someone is doing some ready rickshaw pullers, having scooters, and a small business on the roadside in villages, towns, B class of cities of India, and even into the urban areas, even A class of cities. So this Mudra scheme also has benefited, and these small entrepreneurs have also been added into the economic growth on this strategy of India. And startup has already come up, and if you look at globally, we stand at the second position. So is the steel consumption, steel production, manure production, the milk production, and many other things, which is very heartening, which has taken place. If you look at GST collection, GST collection has now touched near about 1,50,000 crores a month, which is a very, very big thing what has happened to India, because now the industries and the businesses and the corporates and the businesses, small businesses, everyone, even from the MSME, they are keeping this thing in mind that we have to pay the tax at right time. So there is a revival in MSME sector as well, which is contributing towards economy. I hope now I have replied why India is robust, why India has been a robust economy during pandemic, why India is doing so well that we stand at third place globally and robust economy. Even China growth rate has gone down, American growth rate is down, so is the other European countries, but India is still a hope for the world, and that's where we are doing very well. Now I will touch upon one more thing. I'll just connect. There is one Nobel laureate from Bangladesh, and he has come up with the theory of net zero poverty, net zero unemployment, net zero carbon emission, or the greenhouse emissions. There, he is known as Mohammed. He is an economist from Bangladesh. He is known as father of small banking. He has helped near about 9 million women, those who were extending by his bank the loan. The interest rates were kept low, and they were encouraged to have entrepreneurship, going to the small time businesses. And my dear friend, it's very heartening, and I'm very happy to share with you that his experiment has changed the condition of poor families in Bangladesh. And today, he is playing a very crucial role to strengthen the economy of Bangladesh. The same way here, like in India, if you see, the Mudra scheme has been able to take care of these type small time people, that giving loan to them without collateral is a big help. And in even if a person who starts a business of with 10,000, 20,000 rupees, I'm sure he or she is not alone. At least one or two other family members have also got associated. So it was an indirect job creation along with entrepreneurship which has been created by Mudra loan, and DBT helped it. Even during pandemic, even Manrega distribution was pretty okay. So all these efforts by the government has gone into a right direction. And now a very crucial thing I am going to talk about, that if I have touched about Muhammad, that Nobel laureate from Bangladesh, but now Banerjee, who has got this Nobel Economic Prize in 2019, his theory is that if we bring up the social structure, and he did lot many experiment into Asian countries and other, they developed that we have to develop the groups, the social groups, and when they are helped, certainly these groups, those are poor, they will come up, and their the health condition, education, and other things could be improved. Definitely, I. But if you look at it, if I look at all the economic theories, the concept which the big economists, including two from India, Amartya Sen or Mr. Banerjee, or Nobel laureate from there, uh, uh, and other Nobel laureate which I have talked about, you will find India is doing its own, looking at its own conditions, and if we have to be self reliant, we have to find ways of own thinking, because our structure, our social structure, our upbringing, our civilization, our culture uh, is different. We are having many states and their climatic conditions are different. the social structure is different, and we have this diversity in unity. So we have to devise these ways so that the every state comes up. And I think ease of doing business competition among states is paying very well to Indian economy. And then if you see the choosing aspirational districts near about 156 in India, giving extra budget allocation over there, and India is doing very well because there is a competition among districts, and every district magistrate and the administration over there is doing very well because the group of ministers is taking care of these projects. Infrastructure like in roadways, Sagarmala, the railway lines, converting railway line into a total electrification, providing electrification in each village, then having the solar power capacity increase multi-folds starting ISA, and then now we are pledging 475 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030, and what we wanted to achieve by 2030 we have already achieved in 2022. We are going to have a mixed band of energy, that is the share of nuclear power generation also, as the ministry, the government of India has already announced 10 more reactors besides the reactor construction which is going on in collaboration with Russia as well as with EDF of France. Even beside that, and we are making indigenous reactor, that is PHWR, pressurized heavy water reactors. In addition to that, 10 more reactors, the Indian reactors of 2000 megawatt capacity PHWR are going to be built in every field. India, the way our honorable prime minister is having vision along with his team of advisors, or say Niti Aayog or his advisor to him, or the group of ministers, I feel that government is doing very well. And now the last intervention of Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India and the governor Shaktikant Das is doing a wonderful job because all the interventions of RBI have strengthened not only the rupee but attracting the foreign reserves, then keeping a balance when the money was withdrawn and the FDIs was going down. It has gone down from 640 billion US dollars to near about now $600 billion. Is still that balance is maintained by him. And the last intervention with the honorable prime minister has conceived that on his latest foreign trip he has introduced rupee card in other two countries, and now RBI has gone for a thing that will be doing the global trade. The global trade could be done in rupee. I am sure already it is showing an impact from end July onwards, and it will certainly strengthen our global trade where we will be paying in rupee. It will have very good impact maintaining the balance rupee against dollar. I feel that I have given the reply to all these questions, and I am sure now all Indians will be happy, not only in India but the worldwide, that economically we are doing very well. We are in a very robust condition, and we are not only the fastest growing economy, but we are a stable and robust economy. We are having the progress in each field, in each direction, whatever is required to make India a self-reliant nation at the earliest. This year we are celebrating 75 years of independence of India. Har Ghar Tiringa is making that social impact, making that change in the mindset of India, where Indian youth in India every Indian is getting dedicated towards the progress of India. I salute again our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji that earlier for the change in the mindset, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan did so well, and now this Har Ghar Tringa is making that impact was desired to push India. Now India has to have the long strides, not incremental steps. And with these all efforts made not only by the government but by the private sector, every Indian is making extra effort. I am sure India will be doing very well. The Gati Shakti initiative, which is going to bring in cohesion and required synergy among different projects, they are mapping, they are monitoring at Niti Aayog, and then the allocation of resources, utilization of resources, and now having this campaign of ED raids against corrupts is also bringing an honesty among the businessmen. I am sure India will definitely will achieve its target to be a 20 trillion economy between 2035 to 40. I am sure of it. I have written a book on it, and I am also sure that if each Indian gets dedicated, now multiplying its effects, if every Indian thinks what I can do for the nation, rather thinking what government or India can do for myself, not only in India and abroad, I am sure during this Amrit Kal, which has started from 75th year of independence of India and till 2047, we have got all the chances. Not only will become a self-reliant nation, not only that will become a strong nation, but will be a worthy country where the people will be the most proud to live in, and eradicating poverty, inequality, and taking care of the people of last mile. They will all join this progress of India, and I am sure we have got all the chances to stand at number one economy by 2047. So let's once again, just few days before the 15th August, the glorious 75th year of independence celebration of India is going on. I have also unfurled tricolor flag at my house, and even at present I am in Cochin, and there also in a big way, not only in Indian Navy campuses but outside, in all government organizations, Har Ghar Tiranga is being celebrated, and I salute this effort. I salute to India progress, and with that positive mindset, I wish all the best and a very happy Independence Day. Thank you very much.